Years ago, Johnny Blaze made a deal with the devil and sold his soul. And for his troubles, he was merged with the demon. But we know of Johnny's story. What we don't know is next to nothing about the demon Ghost Rider. Who is he? Where does he come from? In this issue, we will find out his story.
Look into my eyes. Your soul is stained by the blood of the innocent. Feel their pain.
Ghost Rider bellows out in anger, deep within Johnny Blaze's subconscious. He demands to be let out and unleashed upon the world once again, blaming Blaze for his continued confinement in Blaze's subconscious. Zarathos, the demon also known as Ghost Rider, reflects back on the fact that Blaze has changed in the past weeks. His will has grown stronger. This frustrates Zarathos. He sees within Blaze a new sense of determination, a newborn desire to build a new life for himself. He now reaches out to care for others, as he did with Adam. Ghost Rider too has grown stronger, as he can now force the transformation, as he did in the battle against Steelwind. The truth of Blaze's newfound strength became obvious to him when they were separated temporarily, running through Mephisto's gauntlet. Just thinking about all this just makes the Rider more angry, demanding to be set free. He will be free, no matter the cost, he shouts to himself. Just then, a mysterious voice responds.
Indeed you will, Zarathos, but you will require help of a most unique nature.
Surprised by someone speaking to him here, he demands they show themselves.
Show yourself or face my wrath.
The mysterious voice tells Zarathos to relax, as his temper has always been his undoing. Zarathos responds.
What do you know of it?
He begins to show Zarathos images of long ago, visions of the demon's past. We see an ancient tribe journeying into a cave, a tribe that has known only hardships for generations. They travel through underground labyrinths in search of dark forces. Their chief is concerned with their safety, and their medicine man, Kunutu, I don't know how to pronounce that, is concerned with what lies ahead. In his hand, he possesses an ancient totem that guides them. Deep in the labyrinth, they discover what they describe as a stone god slumbering. The medicine man seeks to awaken this god so that he may destroy their enemies. The chief is hesitant, as all this dark magic goes against everything their ancestors stood for. The medicine man, Kunutu, is like, the hell with that, I'm waking this bad boy up. He performs a ritual and Zarathos is awakened.
Whose belief draws Zarathos down to the world of man?
The medicine man hesitantly answers. There is a hint of dread in his voice. He tells the demon his tribe has need of his services. The demon asks if he knows the price of such deeds. The man answers, I do, great god. You require souls to consume with your unholy flame. The first soul he offers, and with hesitation, is his very own chief.
Everyone still looks uncomfortable. Perhaps they're all remembering that old saying, power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Zarathos takes great pleasure in consuming the soul of the chief. Kunutu's tribe exchanged defeat and hunger for conquest and feast. Zarathos fed them unequaled might, while they in return fed him captives. They became the cult of Zarathos, and while their influence grew and grew, so did the belief that sustained the demon, and with that, his powers kept growing. But such power cannot go unnoticed for long. Enter Mephisto, frustrated as the soul Zarathos is destroying should belong to him. He decides to plot the demon's downfall, but like with every situation involving the devious demon, he decides not to get his hands dirty himself, instead forcing others to do his work for him. He finds his pawns. Through them, he shall end Zarathos' reign on Earth. A prince and a princess so deeply in love. Mephisto knew their happiness wouldn't last. War had come to their village, leaving the princess shackled, humiliated, and a slave to the acolytes of Zarathos. The prince was near death, surrounded by corpses, but he didn't die, he refused. With each agonizing step, he scaled the mountain of meditation, a mountain sacred to his people. He cried out in the storm,
"Hear me, gods, with my last breath, I beseech you. Spare my princess the fate that awaits her. I will do anything to save her. Anything."
Wait, where have I seen this before?
"Then I believe that Mephisto can be of service, dear prince."
Ghost Rider shouts in pain.
"No more. With every word and image, the door of memory swings wider. A door I sense Mephisto himself shut."
The Ghost Rider questions how this being can so easily set his memories free. Who is he? We suddenly cut to Johnny Blaze, sleeping in a cave of all places. He comments on the strange nightmare he was having. He can't quite remember the details, but he knows it wasn't good. At least he feels rested, he thinks to himself. Now he can get back to the road and head back to the carnival. He starts to think to himself it won't matter when he gets back. His life is just one big nightmare. But this time, he stops himself from the self-pity talk and reflects back to recent events. When he temporarily separated from the Ghost Rider, he had truly come to learn that he has more inner strength than he ever realized. It's time he started using that strength. At that moment, he hears a voice calling out to him. A face shimmers in the sky. The face of a man recently thought deceased. This man is the Quentin Carnival's resident master of magic, the great Vincenzo. Blaze can't deny what he sees in the sky, but it suddenly disappears. Blaze, confused, thinking Vincenzo is surely dead, rides off. He still feels Vincenzo's presence, as if it were guiding him. He follows this feeling to a run-down motel. There hasn't been a soul here in years, Johnny thinks to himself, yet there seems to be a dim light up in the attic. He decides to investigate, but unlike last time where he just waltzed right in and almost got his soul sucked out by Centris, he decides to play it a little safe and sneak in. He is successful in doing so. He observes a dumbwaiter. No, not a dumb waiter, but a small freight elevator designed to carry food. He once again hears Vincenzo's voice calling out to him. He decides to use the shaft of the dumbwaiter to climb up discreetly. He makes his way up and out into the room he felt the voice was coming from. Nothing. No, wait, oh my god. Vincenzo? He begs for Johnny's help, saying his head is on fire. So many sounds. Johnny states that whoever gave Vincenzo this power to call out to him made one big mistake, because now that he's here...
"You made the error, Mr. Blaze. Vincenzo did not call you here. I did."
Blaze turns around. He is surrounded by a group of freaks, but he recognizes them, as he's encountered them before. They were at the carnival trying to kidnap Jeremy, one of his friends. They got what they wanted, so why try to trap Blaze? He can hear the rider gnawing away, trying to escape to deal with the freaks himself, but Blaze refuses, and he starts fighting back on his own. Unfortunately, he is easily overwhelmed. We hear the voice that was talking to Zarathos again. He states now that Blaze was out of the picture, they could get back to the story. Ghost Rider is clearly annoyed by this mysterious tormentor, claiming these are more lies of the past. The voice assures that these are the truth, claiming Mephisto is the one who took his memory in the first place. He tells the demon not to let the pain he feels, remembering, dissuade him. This is Mephisto's way of trying to keep him from the truth. He says to spite him, he must open his eyes and let the memories come through. We come to see Mephisto's puppet, the young prince climbing with his hands shaking towards a goal. He looks through with his awestruck eyes as he beholds the dreaded city of 10,000 souls, the earthly home of Zarathos, the Ghost Rider's former home. His former servants are preparing a sacrifice, the princess that was taken from her prince. Zarathos' followers begin to chant, starting their ceremony, reigniting his flames as he goes to feed on two unlucky souls on each side of the princess. We see the prince climbing towards his love. As he climbs, we hear the freaking of his fellow tribesmen. One by one, their souls were offered up. But just then, as Zarathos was about to take the princess's soul, out comes the prince, pleading with the demon, shouting,
"Halt, demon god! My princess must be spared! If it is pure soul you wish, take mine instead."
Zarathos responds,
"Mortal gnat, Zarathos does not stoop to bargain with such as you. I will have the woman's soul as well, as yours.
As he went to take the prince's soul, the prince stood fast and strong, but he did not burn. Instead, Zarathos burned with the fire of indignation and utter disbelief. A disbelief that spread like a wave over his own flock, over those who had never before doubted his power. And with that seed of doubt, the hold Zarathos had over the mortal plane wavered just enough for the huntsman to claim his prize. Mephisto appeared, claiming his pawn had performed his appointed task. The net is dropped. The trap is sprung. The devilish demon shouts, "Now, you usurper, your end is at hand." Zarathos battled desperately, but fruitlessly. Those who had been his slaves now saw that there was another master, more powerful even than their own. Never again would they bow before Zarathos. His power over them has crumbled. The prince frantically ran away with his princess. As they sought safe ground, the princess, ecstatic to see him, hugged him, calling him great, though he argued against this, saying he was far less than great. He tells her to leave him now. "I beg you, and never think of me again," he says as he walks off. The princess, confused, "Your words are senseless. We are two hearts united, two souls entwined." He responds, "We are entwined no more. To win your life, to bear the icy touch of Zarathos, I had to give Mephisto the one thing both demons crave. I had to forfeit my soul. You must understand, my princess. For a living man without a soul, there can be no love, nor hope, nor even death. There is only air and dust and darkness. There is only eternity." Now, why does this sound familiar? Anyways, this leaves the princess sobbing. Elsewhere, Zarathos is defeated and his city destroyed. Mephisto laughing maniacally as he brings Zarathos' reign on Earth to an end. He returns the demon to a stone figure from whence he sprung, but takes his soul.
Your soul is mine.
For now, Zarathos is his slave to do with as he pleases. The Ghost Rider watches the last of these memories. He shouts,
"True, all of it. I know at long last who I really am. I know what I have lost."
"Indeed," answers the mysterious voice. "I have come to help you regain it."
"You, what manner of being are you to bring about all this?"
The voice responds, "Create your cycle of hellfire, Ghost Rider. Follow my voice, and I shall stand revealed." He guides the rider to his realm, the dream dimension of nightmare. Elsewhere, we come to a diner, and we see a mysterious woman at the counter, asking a man about the Quentin Carnival. The man answers, "Yeah, they were here about a week and a half ago." She asks if the biker in the picture was with them. He says, there might have been, but the day we went, there was a woman called Steel Breeze or something. Handled that motorcycle pretty damn good, too. You missed them, but she will find them. She must. Now we cut back to Johnny Blaze in a not-so-fun predicament. He slowly wakes up feeling like he's been run over by a muck truck. He wonders what's going on around here. Where is he? Who are you? One of the operators answering, telling Blaze that he is in a makeshift operating theater. He states he is his doctor. Blaze, confused, demands to know what they're talking about. A man interrupts. "He is talking about your future, Mr. Blaze. My master has grand plans for the Quentin Carnival, and you figure into those quite prominently." Blaze is godsmacked. It's Ronaldo. He thought Ronaldo might be behind what happened to Vincenzo. Ronaldo responds with both an insult to Blaze's intellect and an acknowledgement of Ghost Rider's existence within Blaze. He then recounts his last few encounters with Blaze, reminding the audience of their history, how he led his master's freaks into the carnival, kidnapping Jeremy. Then Blaze, as Ghost Rider, roasted Ronaldo's very soul. Since then, he has been riddled with nightmares, and terror consumes his very being. He admits to having never known such fear before encountering the Ghost Rider. He states he would much rather just kill Blaze now, if not for his master. After ruining his master's plans twice now, he wants Blaze transformed. He explains he is the one who manipulated Vincenzo and had his surgeon turn him into the telepath. Blaze is pissed. He yells at Ronaldo, calling him a scum, saying he's ruined a strong-willed man and turned him into a wreck. Ronaldo cowers away, afraid Blaze is about to change. The doc is like, "Calm down, dude, and chill the fuck out." Ronaldo gathers some composure. He bought off the internet. He explains to Blaze that instead of killing him, they are going to to turn him into a freak. A man cycle. Half man, half motorcycle. Seriously, what the fuck? In the dream dimension, we find Nightmare talking to Ghost Rider. He explains how Mephisto would use Zarathos time and again throughout the ages, possessing people, enacting vengeance, burning souls with his hellfire, an unknowing tool of Mephisto. Zarathos, also known as Ghost Rider, gets tired of listening to this. He demands to know what use is listening to all this. Nightmare answers. He must know his past in order to take hold of his future with Nightmare's help. He will have his freedom, for they will trap Blaze in a nightmare forever, and Blaze's body will forever belong to Zarathos. At that moment, the Ghost Rider feels the call from Blaze to emerge. But this time, Nightmare tells him to resist. The Rider tells him he cannot. It is his calling and sole joy to enact vengeance upon the wicked. Nightmare assures him they will have much to plan, to heed his words, and if he does, when Blaze finally does surrender to this sleep, it will be his final time. Several minutes earlier, back in the mortal plane, Blaze is shocked, questioning Ronaldo. How can he be so inhuman? Ronaldo finds this ironic coming from someone that has a demon trapped inside him. Suddenly, we see Blaze is finding his own way free without the Rider, using his scalpel. The Doctor carelessly left within reach. He is able to cut through the straps. He breaks free. He stumbles to his feet. He may have been drugged, but he is not out yet. Ronaldo is nervous. He steps back in fear. Blaze lunges forward, but is being held at bay by the freaks. Ronaldo shouting not to let Blaze near him. They struggle to get him to the ground. He gets back up. The freaks are still trying to pull at him. Ronaldo shouting in fear. Blaze is trying to call the Rider. It is no avail, and Johnny hits the floor. The Doctor administers another drug to keep him knocked out. This spells doom for Johnny Blaze. He is back on the operating table, and Ronaldo looks on in satisfaction. Has Nightmare truly won? DeMatteis, I don't know how to pronounce his name, the Rider and Budiansky really knocked this one out of the park. This being such a major, monumental issue for Ghost Rider going forward. The origin of the demon Zarathos, and what an incredibly exciting origin it is. I love how they were able to tie another mysterious character we met recently into said origin and history. I loved the mythology of all of it, and how Zarathos was this ancient demonic god to be worshipped and feared, and how he became as big as he did, and was a threat to even Mephisto. This all ended up being his downfall, of course. And it was great seeing how even though Mephisto could probably have handled all this by himself, he chose to mess with the lives of others instead and get someone else to do his dirty work. But in doing so, it showed Zarathos' followers that Zarathos was not all powerful. It was a double-edged sword because Mephisto did give the man the power to save the woman he loved. This also made the man so he could never love her anymore. It was like a monkey's paw. Great stuff. Budiansky really outdoes himself with this issue. The artwork is truly stellar. The way he draws faces and emotion, and the action, so ridiculously awesome. He is probably my favorite classic Ghost Rider artist, Don Perlin being a close contender. They both are my favorites at drawing classic Blaze. Things are definitely heating up for the next issue. Will Blaze make it out of this one alive? Be sure to hit that subscribe button and find out next time. I wish you all well and a wonderful day.